Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to work a little bit with our E-Club kit that we got for July. I haven't worked in it a lot, so we're going to do a little bit of a project with it this morning. Now, I have just taken a piece of the paper that came in the kit. I think most everybody got this color. This is cut at 8.5 by 5 3/4. And then I just took some papers out of my stash. There's an envelope, just some different coffee dyed papers, even an old notebook sheet, just different things. There's a ledger paper in there. There's one of those notebook papers, legal pads, regular notebook paper. I just took some odds and ends, just whatever I could find in my stash laying right here beside me. And we're just going to make a little travel journal. Now, I made this a few years ago when we were headed on a trip, and I really enjoyed using it. I'm not going to show you everything inside, but I really enjoyed using it for our travels. I had a little pocket on the inside where I could put little memorabilia and tickets and things like that. And then I took photos on the way, and it was just fun using. So I think we're going to make one of those. I know some people are starting to travel a little bit now. Some people may not, but we're going to make this little travel journal. Since the theme of the E-Club kit for July was Let's Travel, I thought it might be a good thing to do. So I've just taken these, I've made sure that they fit on the inside, and they do. And then I've just folded everything in the center. Just folded it over like that. Let's see, one little paper sticking out, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I think I can get it in there when I start to sew it. Now we're just going to sew this like we normally do. If you know how to do the pamphlet stitch already, you don't even have to watch this. You can skip over this part. We're going to do a few new things on this, so this is not the only thing that we're going to do. Now I want this little envelope, I want the front part of it to be where I can open that flap and use it to put little memorabilia in. So what I'm going to do is I've cut that where it's going to fold. And let's see. I'm just going to kind of fold that part right there. And then I'm just going to round these corners off to kind of make them match a little bit. So there we've got a little envelope there, and then I've just got this little piece on the back. So I'm going to go back and add this little envelope right here in the front since I've cut those places. And then that can be, I'm going to put it down toward the bottom, and that can be a nice little spot for us to tuck little receipts and things like that in. And then we'll still have the flap to fold over so that nothing will lose out of it. Alright, let me get it even here. I'm going to put it like this and do some folding again. I don't think I folded that too straight. Let's do some folding that way. There we go. Now then, we can put it in like that. And then I'm just going to open all this up and clip it. Now, I didn't put a lot of my coffee dyed papers in here. Some of them that I did put in here are just inked and, you know, just kind of roughly stained up a little bit. Nothing big. I didn't do a lot of staining on this. You could definitely put your coffee dyed or tea dyed papers in, or you can not dye them at all. That's up to you. Some people don't like them dyed, and that's perfectly fine. This is going to be your journal, so you can do it like you want to. So we're just going to clip that like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab my needle. Well, I think I have my needle right here. And I'm going to use some of this. This is waxed thread. And it's kind of it's not really blue. It's almost like I don't know, a charcoal maybe. So I'm going to use some of this to put on here. Sew our signature in. I'm going to sew the signature and the spine and everything in at the same time. And then, let's see, let me find. I'm just going to use my awl. I've had this for a while, but I liked using my little pokey tool, but it's got to the point where my hand is bothering me so much that my husband said, you need to drag that awl back out again so that you can quit putting so much pressure on your thumb. So I drug it back out. It is a lot easier when you're having thumb problems to just use an awl, because you can put that in the palm of your hand and press with that. So I've just got 3 little places there, and they don't have to be perfect. This is something you can cover this where you sew this on if you want to. You can put a little piece of lace on there, or just another piece of design paper. Lots of different things that you can do that you don't have to worry about getting this so perfect. Let me try to get this through all the papers that I have here. There we go. I'm going to put the glasses on. I'm going to have to. I have not worn glasses in years and years, and having to get used to wearing them again to read is driving me insane. I don't want to wear them, and then I get to the point where I can't see and I have to put them on. So, okay. Now, I'm just going to pull my needle off, and then, and I don't clip this off of the roll just because it saves you a little bit of your thread if you do that. So I'm going to cut it about right there. Make sure that these are nice and tight, and they are. So you need to pull it that way and then pull it that way, and then I go ahead and tie. Now my strings are on both sides. I've got one string on this side and one string on this side of that little center thread right there. So when you tie a double knot in it, then it holds all of that together. And then I'm just going to go ahead and try to tie a little bow. I think with this thread I can. There we go. Got a little bow in it. Like that. And then we can take this little piece and fold it down. And see, that's a little place that you can put some things too. You've got a little pocket there. And then you've got a pocket here in the front. And then you just got some stained paper. This is coffee stained paper that I stain with my brush like I've shown before. And I'm just going to glue these down. And then we have a little side tuck right here that I'm going to glue. And one right here. These are all places that you can either put little photos, or you can journal on about places that you've been, places you've seen, things like that. There's another little side tuck right there. Put a little bit of glue down. Just more little journaling places. And I just used some scrap paper. I used just whatever I had in my drawer. This is out of an old notebook, and then I have some copy paper in here. You know, just grab what you have, unless you want to make it really, really fancy, and then you can, you can use the fancy kind of paper if you want to. I just used what I had in my drawer, and it works fine. And once you get it all done up, it will look great. Okay, so there's all of our pockets done. Now, I have just a little bit of that coffee dyed one sticking out right there. So I'm going to try to trim that off a little bit. And I know that it's doing that because of how I fold it, and that's fine. We can trim it right off. It's not a problem. Well, the problem comes when Edith tries to trim straight with her little scissors. There we go. Now we've got it. So see, it's not sticking out anymore. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna decorate a little bit on the front. And I thought that this paper that's in the collection, it's got all those suitcases and everything on that, I thought that would look good right here on the front. So what I'm gonna do is tear around it. I'm just going to tear me a piece off. And let's see, about right there. Now, I've said this before, but we have new subscribers, so I always like to say it again. If you don't want all of this white showing, then tear away from you. If you want the white showing, or you want to ink that white up, then you can tear toward you. I always leave it toward me and then I ink it up, but that's strictly up to you. Whichever way you want it is fine. Because I'm just going to ink it up, and it's going to cover that white core of that paper. Like that. And then we're going to glue that down right there. I'm going to put it a little bit at an angle. Okay, now what I did to make my tie to go around my other one, the one that I made, I think we made it actually when we went on the cruise, is I just took enough of this thread that would wrap around about 3 times. And I cut that off. And then I'm just going to use my needle again to thread it through. It just makes it a little bit easier. And then I just go back to that center hole right there. And I just push that through. Okay. Then when I get down to this point to where I need to tie it, I just go ahead and I tie it right around that little string that goes down the center there. So I just pull it around that, and then I put just a little knot in it, and that will hold that tight enough that you don't have to worry about it coming loose. And it kind of reinforces all of that inside there too. And if you want to, you can wrap it around twice. I don't think it's necessary with this waxed thread, but you can if you want to do that. See, I just pull it to where my knot comes right there, right in the center where those bows are, where that bow comes. So and then this part right here, I just trim off nice and close. That's going to hold. Then you have this on the outside. Now I just wrapped mine around a couple of times, and then I brought it back to the front and just pushed it under here, and that holds well. But if you want to put some little beads or something on here where it will hold a little bit better, that's up to you. If you want to bring 2 strings out here and pull one way, one the other, and then tie a little bow in it, that's something else that you can do. It's all done basically the same way, so that is up to you. Now I'm going to take this back loose, and we're going to put a little pin clip on here. This is a little cluster that I created with a little pin clip on it, and I created it out of the same paper pack. So I'm just going to put the little pin clip about right there in the center. See, it goes back there. Now I put a little key on mine, a metal key, but you don't have to do that, because if you're going to put it on the back, that's going to make it a little bit lumpy. Or you can attach this on the front. It doesn't matter which way, but if you attach it on the front, you're going to be attaching it on this, and that's going to show it, you know, whichever way you want to make it. Or if you want to put your clip this way and put it on the inside. I'm going to put it back here, and then we can always move it when we start to write if we want to. I can always move that, or I can put a little hardboard under there to write with. But I just did this. I did these with a little bit of material for the clip, and then there's my pin clip. And then if you want to wrap that around again, then you can just pull that under, and you've got that part right there. And now let's put just a little bit of embellishing on there. I'm not going to do a lot to it because I think that has basically, you know, I like how that is. It's got just about what we need. I'm going to put a few little pieces of bling on there, and I'm just going to use some white. And then I think we'll put one right there and one right there. Now here's where, if you want to cover this spine part up, you can put some lace or some more paper or whatever on there. I'm not going to worry about covering mine up. I kind of like that like it is. It doesn't really show, so I'm not going to worry about that part. So let's see what else we want to do. I think I might want to put something on the back, so let's go ahead and untie this again. I might want to put a piece of paper on the back. I think this piece is pretty. It's got all the different locations. Then they're all like little stamps. And this was the paper pad that came in our July kit. That will work right there. I'm just going to ink that up too. And this is just one of those quick and easy little journals that you can make right before you head out of town to try to keep, you know, so that you can keep all of your little receipts and things in there. It's easy and quick to make. Now, just because I want to have plenty of places to tuck little receipts and memorabilia and things, I'm going to use these little glassine bags. And I'm going to put one right there. So we're just gluing that right down in the front. And then we'll have little places that we can put little memorabilia. Let me grab a couple of these little things and we could stick them in there. I tell you what, we could glue that right there on the front. Worldwide Airlines, we'll glue that there and glue the luggage there. That's cute. Alright, and then we have just a little tag here that we'll put right there. 3 little pieces. Alright, and then we can put little things down in there too, and we'll have a little pocket here we can put some things in, and then our little pin on the side. And that is it. That is just how quick and simple these little journals are to make, little travel journals. We made these on the Made It cruise. I think it was last year, and no, it was a couple of years ago, and they went over very, very well. Everybody really loved them. But that's how quick and easy they are. They're not hard to make. And anybody who got the July e-club kit, you've got plenty of goodies in your club kit to make. Lots of these little journals. You can make one for you, one for your friends. Anybody who's going to be traveling, this would be good to make. You can even put a little charm on here. This one that we made on the cruise, we put a little charm on them. And, you know, it's been well loved, as you can see. It's been very well loved. But that was so much fun to take that with me, and I just tucked it in my purse. And wherever we went, I had, you know, I took my memorabilia, and I took my little receipts and things and put in there. And it was so much fun when I got back home to be able to document all of that, and I had all the information there. So I just wanted to do that for you guys real quick to show you what you can do with your e-club kit and just make it something very useful for you. Now, these little pin clusters, I will be making those in the next video just to kind of show you how they're made. They're very simple to make, but then you can clip them on any journal or mini album, anything that you have. So I'll be showing you how to make those coming up next. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it, and we will talk to you guys later.